are over 1.6 million US military connected kids. And one of the most important things that CACs can do is to identify when there is a military connection, because there's lots of unique needs that kids in these families have.
One unique challenge that the military faces is continuity of care or services for the victim and a family member. Oftentimes, families do move from one place to another, so they are not able to build that bond and those relationships that are very important. I think a strength for military families would be resiliency. Although they don't have family members nearby, that they can adjust very quickly and find others that provide that support in an area that they may need. Those players play a huge role during the military life career because it's something that they look forward to.
Because families are generally geographically separated from family of origin, parents struggle to find support. That's where family advocacy can step in and help out. So identifying those families and getting them connected with family advocacy early on gets them the support they need from the military.
There are different services available to our military families, and the military process of investigation also has some differences.
The NCIO may want to take jurisdiction over a criminal case from the local civilian law enforcement. So the earlier you guys identify that the family is military affiliated, the earlier they can take over that jurisdiction and there's no break in the investigation or the services. Also, that gets them connected with the family advocacy program faster as well and gets them access to the services that the base has to offer to support the family.
On our 2020 census, we asked CACs if they assess for military affiliation at intake, and then also asked if they track that information once they have it. And what we found is that just about 18% of CACs are asking about military affiliation at intake, and then of those, just 10% are tracking that information about how many military-connected kids are served. So this is really an area where we have some work to do to improve our services to military families. And when we asked those CACs that do not assess for military affiliation at intake why they weren't doing it, there were two reasons that really came up. One is that they just didn't realize that they should be. And the other reason is that they didn't think they had military-connected families in their service area because there wasn't an installation that close by.
Military families can live really anywhere that they have a desire to live. It could be on the facility or off the facility. Some military members choose to commute to work, while others just find it more convenient to stay on post or on the base. We really don't walk around in our uniform. We really are not someone due to OPSEC, or which is operational security, announce that we're military members. So for the most part, to be sure that you are dealing with a military affiliated family, you're going to have to ask that family.
Our CAC starts right at the beginning. We make sure our case managers are asking that question when they receive the referral from the investigator. We developed what's called a child background information form, and so caregivers fill that out at registration. It tells us things like name to call the child during the appointment, pronouns, but also includes military affiliation questions. And then we also have a staff member who reviews the forms and passes any along that have a military affiliation or connection to our military case manager so that he can follow up if it's appropriate. Sometimes people feel hesitant about asking if families have a military affiliation or connection. However, we found that, families are forthright with that information. They're proud to be military families. It's part of their demographics and who their family is. They're going to answer the question honestly in most cases, and it's therefore just part of our process and becomes normalized. I think training your staff to make sure that they understand why you're asking the question and what you're going to do with the information is probably the most important piece. You want to make sure that they understand the relevance of asking the question and what they can provide for the family if they find out there's a military affiliation, and that'll create a sense of understanding of why they're reaching out and asking those questions.
Involve everyone in the team, because your coworkers will help you catch military families that come through.
NCA Track is a case management system where you can document a lot of great information and data for cases that come through a child advocacy center. And one of the options within NCA Track is you can document or capture what families, what victims are involved with military installations throughout the country.
Through tracking that, I think probably one of the biggest achievements we had in year one of our NCA funded project, our goal was to go from less than 5 kiddos a year, military affiliated children, to serving at least 25. We felt like, there were at least that many that needed us. And we actually exceeded our goal by 268% to serve 92 military affiliated children in year one.
We have a huge community of retired military in Barksdale. A lot of them go through Barksdale and then end up staying in Bossier City or in Shreveport. We also have a huge population that live outside of base. So they weren't being investigated by the military. Maybe the perpetrator wasn't part of the military and it was just a military family. So all of these families were getting missed, falling through the cracks. We weren't able to give them the services that they really needed and meet them where they were.
NCA has a lot of really helpful resources when it comes to getting started with this aspect of improving services to military families.
There's absolutely amazing webinar and actual resource sets that you can access on the Engage system that's under the National Children's Alliance. Videos, webinars, and even a community where you can interact and communicate with other military affiliated child advocacy centers to get some additional information when you need to. And there's an amazing victim advocate toolkit that you can find on Engage where you can get sample forms, sample policies and procedures that you can use and kind of modify it to fit your particular experience at your own CAC.
If you have questions or want to schedule a time to walk through NCA Track, please contact the NCA Track team.
Get into the Engage system. Look at the resources, the webinars, the examples, and talk to other grantees who have been doing this for some years to get some advice. Join the collaborative work groups. They're an amazing resource to get information and ask questions. Reach out. Once you do so, you're not only building that relationship, but you're getting the information that that's relevant to your situation and your location.
To learn more, please visit learn.nationalchildren'salliance.org/military.